Hey, how's everyone doing today? You're cracking packs with Lumpy. It is pre-release weekend, and we got Core Set 2020. Yeah, man. Gonna bust that open in just a second. First, we got Rien, the Angel of Rebirth. It is a 5/4 with flying that costs 2, a red, a green, and a white to put out. So it's a 5/4 for 5, and other multicolored creatures you control get +1/+0, which is really cool. And when another multicolored creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah, man. So your cards keep coming back. Well, multicolored cards anyway. That's cool, man. Anyway, that's the buy a box promo. And I guess you can only get it by buying a box. So, here we go. Let's see what we got inside this sucker. I'm going to try to be quick and not gawk at the cards too much. You know, it's a new set and I always just stare at them. So, I'm going to try not to do that. Let's see. Bam, that's what I'm talking about. Alright. Start off with Sorin. Oh, it's gonna be this. Non-opening packs. Alright. Here we go. Veil of Summer. Draw a card if an opponent that has cast a blue or black spell this turn. Spells you control can't be countered this turn. You and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and from black until end of turn. Yeah, man. Gotta love that. Fry. That's what you do to your brain. It costs 2, and this spell can't be countered. Fry deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue. Yeah, man. 2 for 5 damage. Gotta love that. Vengeful War Chief. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Vengeful War Chief. It's a 4/4 for 5. And here I am just gawking at the artwork. And our rare, the Rotting Regisaur. Yeah, man. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. It's a 7/6 for 3. Wow. 7/6 for 3. That is pretty awesome. Just discard a card at the beginning of your upkeep. That. Oh, and we got Fry again in foil. Yeah, man. Gotta love that. You know I love them foil cards. And an island and a wolf token. Oh, what the hell. Alright, disfigure. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Spectral Sailor. A 1/1 for 1 with flash. And for 4, draw a card. Pretty cool. Salvager of Ruin. A 2/1 for 3. Sacrifice Salvager of Ruin. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn and return it to your hand. Yeah, man. And, oh, ding, 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 Planeswalker, right off the bat, a Johnny, Strength of the Pride. Wow. A Johnny for 4. He has 5 loyalty. And for +1, you gain life equal to the number of creatures you control. Plus the number of Planeswalkers you control. Wow. Excuse me. For -2, create a 2/2 white cat soldier creature token. Name the Johnny's Pride Mate with, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on a Johnny's Pride Mate. Alright, for 0, if you have at least 15 life, more than your starting life total, exile a Johnny Strength of the Pride and each artifact and creature your opponents control. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Planeswalker, right off the bat. Second pack. Gotta love it. I hope this box just kicks ass. Yeah, man. And then, holy crap, we got a foil rare. Wow. Steel Overseer. It's a 1/1 for 2. Put a +1/+1 on each artifact creature you control. Yeah, man. Gotta love it. And Saltwater Cliffs and a Spirit Token. I guess we'll go, yeah, you gain 1 life when it enters the battlefield. Alrighty, wow. Is there a little opener on these things? No. So they're all just going to be a pain in the butt to open. Alright. Act of treason, yeah, man. Vampire of the Dire Moon. A 1/1 for 1 with Death Touch and Lifelink. Wow, gotta love that. Corpse Knight. 2/2 for 2. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Yeah, man. Zombie Knight. And Goblin Ringleader. 2/2 for 4 with haste. When Goblin Ringleader enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all Goblin cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah, man. Pump up that Goblin deck. Gotta love it. And ding, 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 ding. Another Mythic. Cavalier of Thorns. A 5/6 for 2 and 3 green. So 5/6 for 5 with reach. When Cavalier of Thorns enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, put a land card from among them on the battlefield, and the rest into your graveyard. When Cavalier of Thorn dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Yeah, man. And a mountain and a wolf. Alright. Thrashing Brontodon, a 3/4 for 3. Sacrifice Thrashing Brontodon. Well, for 1, sacrifice Thrashing Brontodon and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Not bad. 3/4 for 3. Gotta like that. Apostle of Purifying Light. 2/1 for 2. Protection from black. Exile target card from a graveyard for 2. Not bad, I guess. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. 2/3 for 3 with flying. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Yeah, man. And Drakasith, Maw of Flames, a 7/7 for 7 with flying. When Drakasith, Maw of Flames attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. So I'm assuming you can't do 10 damage to the other player, to your opponent. Star Fury, give me a ruling on this card. You can do 4 damage to any target. Does it have to be 3 separate targets? That's what I'm thinking. It's 4 damage to 1 target, 3 damage to 1 target, 3 damage to 1 target, to 2 other targets. Anyway, the wording's a little weird, I guess, but That's what I'm thinking it means. You can deal up to 10 damage to 3 creatures. Or 1, you know, for your opponent. Whatever. Yeah, 7/7 for 7. Anyway. Blossoming Sands and a zombie token. Matter Splicer. A 1/1 for 4. I don't like that so much. Cool artwork though. Yeah, Matter Splicer. When Matter Splicer enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. Golems you control get +1/+1. Okay, that makes it worth it. So you get a 1/1 and you get to put out basically a 4/4. You put out a 3/3 and it gets +1/+1. So, yeah, man. That makes it worthwhile. Matter Splicer. Blood for the Bones. Blood for Bones. Alright, cost 4, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then return another creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty awesome. I'm digging that. Very useful. Awesome artwork. Wow. They upped their game with the artwork this time. Risen Reef. A 1/1 for 3. When Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it in your hand. Yeah, man. I guess that makes it worth 3. 1/1 for 3. You get a card out of it. Leyline of Anticipation. Cost 4 to put out. If Leyline of Anticipation is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You may cast spells as though they had flash. That could be helpful. Spells with, everything's got flash. Yeah, man. A Leyline, a Forest and Muyulang Sky Dancer. Islands you control have tap it and draw a card. Yeah, man. She's a little cutie, huh? Alright. Eternal Isolation for 2. Put target creature with power 4 or greater on the bottom of its owner's library. Yeah, man. Cerulean Drake. A 1/1 for 2 with flying, protection from red. Sacrifice Cerulean Drake and counter target spell that targets you. That's cool, I guess. Manifold Key. It's like when you're too drunk to start your car and you try to jam it in the manifold. Anyway, it only costs 1 to put out, and for 1, tap it, untap another target artifact, or for 3 and tap it, target creature can't be blocked this turn. That could be useful. Yeah, man. I'm digging it. Manifold Key. I like that. Alright. Temple of Silence. A rare land. And when it enters the battlefield, scry 1. Not bad. And Jungle Hollow. You gain a life with that one. Comes in tapped. When it enters the battlefield, gain a life. And a zombie token. Alright. Brineborn Cutthroat. A 2/1 for 2 with flash. When you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a 1/1 counter on Brineborn Cutthroat. The artwork on that, man. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying not to gawk at these cards too much. Molder Ravine Reclamation. For 5. When a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. That's cool. Again, awesome artwork. Anyway. Retributive Wand. For 3 and tap it. Well, it costs 3 to put out. For 3 and tap it, Retributive Wand deals 1 damage to any target. When Retributive Wand is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to any target. Yeah, man. That could be quite useful. Bishop of Wings. For 2, you get a 1/4. When an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. When an angel you control dies, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Yeah, man. It's not bad at all. A mountain and a demon. Captivating Gyre. Gyre. I don't know what that word is. So, for 6, return up to 3 target creatures to their owner's hands. Overgrowth Elemental. 3/2 for 3. When Overgrowth Elemental enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on another target elemental you control. When another creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. If that creature was elemental, put a 1/1 counter on Overgrowth Elemental. Yeah, man. Thought Distortion. That's what I'm having right now. Complete Thought Distortion. The spell can't be countered. It costs 6. It can't be countered. Target opponent reveals their hand. Exile all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. Holy crap. So they got to throw out everything but lands. It costs 6 to put out, so they're not going to have that many cards in their hands, maybe. Oh, wow. I like that. I like that. Twisting a dude's head. All right. Drawn from Dreams. Well, stuck to that artwork. For 4. A sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. A Plains and a Golem. Wolf Rider's Saddle. For 4, when Wolf Rider's Saddle enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token and then attach the saddle to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Not bad. For 4, not bad at all. Cost 3 to equip it. Unchained Berserker. A 1/1 for 2. Has protection from white. Unchained Berserker gets +2/+0 as long as it's attacking. So it's a 3/1 when it's attacking. Not bad for 2. Woodland Champion. A 2/2 for 2. When 1 or more token enters the battlefield under your control, put that many 1/1 counters on Woodland Champion. Wow. You could pump that sucker up real quick. I could think of a couple decks that needs to go into. And our rare is Dungeon. I was going to say Dragon. Dungeon Geists. 3/3 for 4. A Spirit with Flying. When Dungeon Geists enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Dungeon Geists. Yeah, man. That's pretty useful. I'm not big on blue decks, but I could see where that would be very useful. And Bloodfell Caves. Tap Bloodfell Cave. It enters the battlefield tapped, and you gain 1 life when it enters the battlefield. Yeah, man. And a Johnny's Pride Mate. Oh, man. Gawking at the artwork again. Anyway, here we... Alright. Veil of Summer. Only cost 1. Draw a card. If an opponent has cast a blue or black spell this turn, spells you control can't be countered this turn. You and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and from black until end of turn. Yeah, man. Only cost 1. I'm digging that. The Risen Reef again. A 1/1 for 3. Oh, I saw foil back there. Mask of Immolation. For 2, when Mask of Immolation enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token, then attach Mask of Immolation to it. Equipped creature has sacrificed this creature, deals 1 damage to any target. I don't know if that's worth it. Just to deal 1 damage, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Shifting Ceratops. A 5/4 dinosaur for 4. Not bad. Spell can't be countered. Protection from blue. And for 1, Shifting Ceratops gains your choice of Reach, Trample, or Haste until end of turn. That's not bad. 5/4 for 4. And Marauder's Axe is our foil. For 2, equipped creature gets +2/+0 and equip it for 2. Gotta love that, man. And the Rugged Highlands comes in tap, but you gain a life and a soldier token. I'm really trying to be quick with this, but, you know, new sets, I just stare at the cards and get lost in it. Gruesome Scourger. An Orc Warrior. A 3/3 for 5. When Gruesome Scourger enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal to the number of creatures you control. Digging it. Yeah, man. Throw out a bunch of tokens, bam bam, smack somebody down. Not bad at all. Alright, Tombbound Lich. A 1/3 for 3 with Death Touch and Lifelink. When Tombbound Lich enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Pretty cool. Yeah, man, I could see use for that. I love Death Touch and Lifelink on the same card. Mask of Immolation again. And Brought Back. For 2, choose up to 2 target permanent cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Return them to the battlefield tapped. That's cool. Yeah, man. A swamp and a wolf. Alright. Started out strong and we kind of fizzled out there. Alright, Howling Giant, a 5/5 for 7 with Reach. When Howling Giant enters the battlefield, create 2/2/2 green wolf creature tokens. Very useful. I was thinking 7 was high for a 5/5, but with that, with Reach and 2/2/2 green wolves, yeah, man. Not bad at all. Cryptic Caves. Add a colorless. Or sacrifice Cryptic Caves, draw a card, activate this ability only if you control 5 or more lands. Not bad. Gives you a card. Diviner's Lockbox for 4. Diviners or Diviners, whichever. For 1 and tap it, choose a card name, then reveal the top card of your library. If that card has the chosen name, sacrifice Diviner's Lockbox and draw 3 cards. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So pretty much you're guessing what the next card is in your deck. Would be good in a rat deck. Or something that has a lot of 1 card. Anywho. Cost 4 to put out. The Tail's End. It's not quite the end yet, but for 2, counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. Triggered. A forest and a soldier. Uncaged Fury. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike till end of turn for 3. That's pretty cool. Double strike. Scholar of the Ages. A 3/3 for 7. When Scholar of the Ages enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. I don't know if it's worth 7, but you get 2 cards back from your graveyard, instant or sorceries. Could be useful. For 7, a little steep, but it is what it is. Scampering Scorcher, a 1/1 for 4. When Scampering Scorcher enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 elemental creature tokens. Elementals you control gain haste until end of turn. A 1/1 for 4? Come on, man. Yeah, you get 2 more 1/1s, but I don't know. I'm not liking the high cost on a lot of these cards. Alright, Legion's End for 2. Exile target creature an opponent controls with converted mana cost 2 or less, and all other creatures that player controls with the same name as that creature. Then that player reveals their hand and exiles all cards with that name from their hand and graveyard. Yeah, man. For 2? That's pretty cool. So that could destroy a rat deck. Anyway, a Plains and an Elemental. Wow, that's an awesome looking token. Elemental creature token. Ironroot Warlord. Let's see, for 3, Ironroot, this just screwed me up. Anyway, Ironroot Warlord's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. And then for 5, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. For a 5, that's a little steep, but okay. Anyway, cost 3 to put out for a blank 5. Seems like a good card, but Noxious Grasp for 2. Destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white and you gain 1 life. Might of the Masses for 1. Target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn for each creature you control. Yeah, man. That's been... Dread Presence. 3/3 for 4. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. You draw a card and lose 1 life, or Dread Presence deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. Yeah, man. That's our rare Undead Servant foil. Gotta love the foils. Thornwood Falls. Thornwood Falls enters the battlefield tapped, you gain 1 life, and a zombie token. Pulse of Marasa. Oh, sorry about that. Pulse of Marasa. Return target creature or a land card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. You gain 6 life. Apostle of Purifying Light. Overgrowth Elemental. And the Flood of Tears. That's what I thought this set was going to be. A Flood of Tears. Nah. Flood of Tears for 6. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Just whack everything off the board. Bam. Alright, digging it. A Plains and a Demon. The Loyal Pegasus. 2/1 for 1 with flying. Overcome. For 5, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Devout Decree. For 2, exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at that artwork. Wow. Anyway, exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red, then scry 1. It's not punishment. I am simply making things as they should be. Yeah, man. Costs 2 to put out. Wake Root Elemental. For 6, you get a 5/5. And then for 5, untap target land you control. It becomes a 5/5 elemental with haste. It's still land. Yeah, man. When the forest walks, it's never too late to run. Wow. Yeah, man. That's pretty cool. And the Windscarred Craig comes out and you gain a life, comes out tapped, and a soldier token. Alright, I'm really trying to speed this thing up, but I don't know. Y'all know me. I get lost in the cards. Ogre Siegebreaker, 4/3 for 4. Portal of Sanctuary. For 3, return target creature you control and each aura attached to it to their owner's hands. Activate this ability only during your turn. Dragon Mage. For 7, you get a 5/5 with flying. When Dragon Mage deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. Not bad. Oh, I see foil. Temple of Triumph comes in tapped, gain a life, and Cerulean Drake. I think we just had that. A 1/1 for 2 with flying, protection from red. Sacrifice Cerulean Drake, counter target spell that targets you. Man, loving it. A swamp and a soldier. What am I? Growth cycle. Shock. Ah, man. Blood for Bones. We just had that. Creeping Trailblazer. A 2/2 for 2. Red and a green. Other elementals you control get +1/+0. For 4, Creeping Trailblazer gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control. Yeah, man. That could be pumped up. Think I'll be making an elemental deck. There seems to be a lot of good stuff in here for that. Alright. Blood-Soaked Altar. For 6. Tap it, pay 2 life, discard a card. Sacrifice a creature. Create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Activate this ability and only anytime you can cast a sorcery. I was thinking that's why you're paying 6 for this, but and then you got to pay 2 life, discard a card, and sacrifice a creature to get a 5/5. I mean, it's nice, a 5/5 black demon token with flying, but that's a lot to get it, I think. Y'all let me know what you think. But Blood-Soaked Altar. Decent card either way. Temple of Mastery. Rare land. Temple of Mastery enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1. A Plains and a treasure token. Colossus Hammer. For 1, equip creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. Equip it for 8. Yeah, man. That's a game ender. Loaming Shaman. 3/2 for 3. Blood-Soaked Altar again. And Planar Cleansing. Destroy all non-land permanents. Board wipe. For 6. Not bad at all. Destroy all non-land permanents. Thornwood Falls comes out tapped, gain a life, and that elemental creature token. Meteor Golem. Ancestral Blade for 2. When Ancestral Blade enters battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then attach Ancestral Blade to it. Equip creature gets +1/+1. Yeah, man. And equip it for 1. Attached to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. Corpse Knight for 2. We had that earlier. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Ooh. Chandra's Regulator for 2. Legendary artifact. When you activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, you may pay 1. If you do, copy that ability. May choose a new target for the copy. Yeah, man. And then for 1 and tap it, discard a mountain card or a red card. Draw a card. That'll work. Can regulate Chandra. And a foil swamp. Digging it. And a regular swamp. And a wolf token. What am I doing? That's it. Alright. Herald of the Sun, a 4/4 for 6 with flying. Disfigure. Costs 1. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Ancestral Blade we just had. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Vivian Arcbow Ranger. Yeah, man. Mythic Planeswalker for 4. And it has 4 loyalty. +1, distribute 2 1/1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn. For -3, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. And for -5, you may choose a creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Wow. That... You can get any card from outside the game and put it in your hand. That is crazy good. Wow. I'm digging it. Ding, 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 ding. Vivian Planeswalker. Arcbow Ranger. Gotta love it, man. Oh, and Thort Distortion. Foil. Yeah, man. Scoured Barrens comes in the battlefield, gain a life, and a soldier token. Wow. Alright, 2 Planeswalkers so far. Flame Sweep for 3. Deals 2 damage to each creature except for creatures you control with flying. Yeah, man. God's Willing for 1. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Dealing it. Dealing it. Wow, digging it. Alright, I'm digging that. God's Willing. Renowned Weaponsmith. That's me creating weapons. A 1/3 for 2. Tap it, add 2. Colorless, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. For 1 and tap it, 1 blue and tap it. Search your library for a card named Heartpiercer Bow or Vial of Dragonfire. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Hey, that'll work, man. 1/3 for 2. Leyline of the Void. If Leyline of the Void is put in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. It costs 4, or you can put it out when if you have it in your opening hand. If a card would be put into your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. I could see a use for that, but not a whole lot of use. It's got to be certain decks. if you need exiled cards in your opponent's graveyard. Man, look at that Stonehenge-y looking artwork. Ha, pretty cool. Alright, that's our rare. The Ley Line, the Mountain, and the Elemental. Lightning Stormkin, a 2/2 for 2 with flying and haste. Angel of Vitality, a 2/2 for 3 with flying. If you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead. Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life. Yeah, man, I'm digging that. Awesome artwork, too. Starfield Mythic, a 2/2 for 2. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever an enchantment you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Starfield Mythic. Yeah, man. A Forest and the Chandra Awakened Inferno token. Yeah, man. I gotta hurry it up. There's still 12 more packs here. Alright. Master Splicer, 1/1 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact, and golems you control get +1/+1. Noxious Grasp, destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white. You gain 1 life, cost 2. Barkhide Troll, 2/2 for 2. When it enters the battlefield, it enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. For 1, remove a 1/1 counter from Barkhide Troll, and it gains hexproof till end of turn. Goalless Tireless Pilgrim. I was going to say he's tired. He's tireless. 3/5 for 5. When Goalless Tireless Pilgrim enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put that card on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle your library. For 7, 2 and 1 of each color, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying your mana cost. Yeah, man. 3/5 for 5. And Steadfast Sentry. A common foil, but still a foil. Gotta love it. A 3/2 for 3 with Vigilance. When Steadfast Sentry dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Blossoming Sands and a treasure token. Blossoming Sands, you gain a life. Alright, Colossus Hammer we just had. Wolf Rider Saddle. Oh, sorry about that, I just nailed the camera. Wolf Rider Saddle we just had. Molder Vein Reclamation we just had. Ley Line of Abundance we did not have. For 4, if Ley Line of Abundance is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. When you tap a creature for mana, add an additional forest. For 7 or 8, 6 and 2 forest, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Oh, that makes it worth it on each creature. And again, Stonehenge going on there. For 8 though. Wow. Anyway, yeah, it costs 4 to put out, or put it out with your opening hand. A Mountain and a Zombie. Rapacious Dragon, 3/3 for 5. When he enters the battlefield, you get 2 treasure tokens. Goblin Ringleader, Scuttlemutt, a 2/2 for 3. Costs 3 to put out. 2/2. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color, or tap it, target creature becomes a color of your choice. color or colors of your choice until end of turn. Yeah, man. 2 for 3. And our rare is repeated reverberation for 4. When you next cast an instant spell, cast a sorcery spell, or activate a loyalty ability, wow, this turn, copy that spell or ability twice. Choose new targets for the copies. You may choose new targets for the copies. That'll work for 4. When you cast an instant, cast a sorcery, or activate a loyalty ability, copy that spell twice or ability. Wow, that can do some damage. I'm digging that. A foil Evolving Wilds. Not bad. And Scoured Barrens. Comes in tapped, gain a life, and a wolf. Another Planeswalker! Ding, 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 ding! It's an uncommon Planeswalker, but a Chandra Planeswalker nonetheless. Costs 4 to put out. For +1, it has 5 loyalty. +1, elementals you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. For -1, add 2 red mana. For -2, Chandra Novice Pyromancer deals 2 damage to any target. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Chandra the Novice Pyromancer. Alright. Digging it. Eternal Isolation. Target creature with power 4 or greater on the bottom of its owner's library for 2. Thought Distortion. And Glinthorn Buccaneer is our rare. For 3, you get a 2/4 for 3 with haste. Whenever you discard a card, Glinthorn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent. For 2, discard a card, draw a card. Activate this ability only if Glinthorn Buccaneer is attacking. Yeah, man. Minotaur Pirate. And decent artwork. Wow. Alright, a Swamp and a Johnny's Pride Mate token. Yeah, man. The Little Fairy Rogue. Fencing Ace, a 1/1 for 2 with double strike. Blight Beetle, a 1/1 for 2 with protection from green. Creatures your opponents control can't have 1/1 counters put on them. I'm assuming if they already have 1/1 counters, they can stay, but they just can't have any more put on. What you think, Star Fury? Is that correct? Yarick's Wave Crasher, a 4/4 for 4. When Yarick's Wave Crasher enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. And Leyline of Sanctity. We got quite a few Leylines so far. For 4, if Leyline of Sanctity is in your opening hand, you may start the game with it on the battlefield. You have hexproof. And more Stonehenge. With the Leylines. An island and a soldier. I gotta make this quicker. Going on 45 minutes here. Gravedigger, 2/2 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yarick's Wave Crasher, we just had. Manifold Key, we just had. Temple of Epiphany. Comes in tapped, scry 1. Yeah, man. And Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life. Comes in tapped, gain a life. And the Elemental. Oh. I hate the packs that don't open. Pattern Matcher. 3/3. 3/3 for 4. When Pattern Matcher enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card with the same name as another creature you control. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. 3/3 for 4. Scholar of the Ages. A 3/3 for 7. When it enters the battlefield, return 2 target instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. I think we had that one earlier. Season of Growth. For 2. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. That's pretty cool. Useful. Yeah, man. Anything that gives you cards, I'm digging. Temple of Melody. Comes in tap, scry 1. Fire Elemental. Foil. Yeah, man. An island and a golem token. Uncaged Fury. Barkhide Troll. 2/2 for 2. When enters the battlefield, I think we had this one already. Enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Remove a 1/1 from Barkhide Troll. It gains hexproof until end of turn. That costs a 1. Gauntlets of Light. For 3. Enchant creature. It gets +0/+2. And assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And it has, for 3, untap this creature. Man, that's cool. That's pretty useful. Gauntlets of Light. Yeah, man. Elvish Reclaimer is our rare. 1/2 for 1. Elvish Reclaimer gets +2/+2 as long as there are 3 or more land cards in your graveyard. For 2 and tap it, sacrifice a land, search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle your library. Yeah, man. Digging the artwork. Digging the card. Elvish Reclaimer. Saltwater Cliffs. Comes in tapped, gain a life, and a wolf token. I see foil back there already. Ooh, another Chandra Planeswalker I just saw. The uncommon one, but still Persa Marasa. Chandra Nivus Pyromancer, we just went over that. Bing, 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 bing. Another Planeswalker. Gotta love it. Ember Hauler. Ooh, Mythic. Cavalier of Gales. For 5. It's a 5/5 for 5 with flying. That's fair. Wow, totally off the screen. 5/5 with flying. When Cavalier of Gales enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards and put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. When Cavalier of Gales dies, shuffle it into its owner's library and scry 2. Digging it. Yeah, man. 5/5 for 5. Ding, 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 ding. Mythic. And a Mythic. Ooh. A Mythic freaking foil. 3/5 for 5. Death Touch and Lifelink. Yarek the Desecrated. Awesome artwork. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Yeah, man. I'm digging that. A Mythic foil. Gotta love it. Dismal Backwater. Comes in tapped, gain a life, and a soldier token. Our last 3 or 4 packs here. Empyrean Eagle. Again, awesome artwork. 2/3 for 3 with flying. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Hardcover. For one enchanted creature gets +0/+2. Has tap it, draw a card, and discard a card. Scampering Scorcher. 1/1 for 4. We just had that. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 elementals. Lotus Field. We got the Lotus Land. Gotta love the Lotuses. Magic is all about the Lotuses. Anyway, a rare land. It's hexproof. Lotus Field enters battlefield, tap. When Lotus Field enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 lands, and then you can tap it for 3 mana of any one color. Ding, 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 ding. Lotus Field. Yeah, man. You gotta love that. A forest and a spirit token. Vampire of the Dire Moon. A 1/1 for 1 with Death Touch and Lifelink. Ogre Siegebreaker. 4/3 for 4. For 3, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Again, awesome artwork. Wow. Retributive Wand. Deals 1 damage to any target. When Retributive Wand is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, deals 5 damage to any target. I think we had that earlier, but it costs 3 to put out. Embodiment of Agonies. Flying in Death Touch for 3. It enters battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each different mana cost among non-land cards in your graveyard. For example, 2 and a black or 1 and 2 blacks are different mana costs. Yeah, man. If you got a bunch of stuff in your graveyard, that could be pumped up really quick. Gotta love it. I feel your pain. It's exquisite. That's the flavor text. Wow, man. Gotta love it. And Negate. A foil Negate for 2. Counter target non-creature spell. Yeah, man. Tranquil Cove and a zombie. Tranquil Cove comes in tapped and you gain a life. Air Elemental. A 4/4 for 5 with flying. Salvager of Ruin. We had that earlier. Yarrick's Fenlurker. A 1/1 for 2. A horror creature. When Yarrick's Fenlurker enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand. For 3, Yarrick's Fenlurker gets 1/1 until end of turn. Yeah, man. And our rare is Grafdigger's Cage. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Yeah, man. That's some good blocking ability there. It only costs 1. Artifact costs 1. Digging it. An island and a wolf. And for our last pack of a Johnny, let's see. Give us a little luck, man. Alright. Air Elemental. Angel of Vitality, the little cutie. I know we had that one. Gauntlets of Light. I know we had that. And our last rare, Field of the Dead. A land. Field of the Dead. A rare land. Field of the Dead enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it, add 1 colorless. Whenever Field of the Dead or another land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Yeah, man. So if you have 7 or more lands with different names, you get a black zombie token every time another land enters the battlefield under your control. That is pretty cool. Yeah, man. Field of the Dead. I'm digging that. A mountain and a zombie. So what do y'all think of the new set? I think it's pretty cool. We got a couple pretty good pulls in there. Got Cavalier Thorns, we got a Johnny, we got the Routing Regisaur, and Vivian, and 2 Chandra Nivus Pyromancers. So 4 Planeswalkers. Well,